Hello and welcome to Realm's Edge Gaming. In this episode we're going to take a look at the article that dropped today and kind of heralded the return of Lord Kroak, and in the article's very own words, he has had an epic glow up. So for those of you that remember, Lord Kroak was one of the kind of models from the world that was. He used to live in a place called Lustria, which was like the jungles. And then when Seraphon kind of got reinvented for Age of Sigmar, he was one of the characters that kind of transitioned across from the old world, like Altharion and Marathi, and there's a number of others as well, including Teclis. The article starts off with saying that we had a pair of witch hunters last week who will be making an appearance in the Broken Realm saga. And now it's time for fan favourite Lord Kroak to get an update. Now, if you're anything like me, you were hoping that Seraphon would kind of get some updated models, and it was really kind of surprising that when it had their turn to get the new battle tome, they didn't really get anything other than the Realm Shaper engine, but they have definitely delivered with this one. This is our new model, and I have to say, it's absolutely amazing. It just kind of goes to show what the design team could do if they do, and I'm hoping they do, update the Seraphon range of models, because we'll have a look at a comparison of the old model, because it's just literally, no pun intended, worlds apart. It looks absolutely fantastic. I really like how that they've managed to kind of not have that clear kind of flight stand that used to be part of the older model, and they've kind of got the arcs around it, because it looks actually surprisingly sturdy. It doesn't look like a fragile or wobbly model at all. It looks kind of really sturdy, and with Kroak in the centre of those kind of levitating arcs, it kind of really draws the eye, and I just think it's absolutely brilliant. It's like definitely an insta-buy straight away. Let's take a look at the old model, and we can kind of look at the things that have changed, where it's been improved upon, because I really like how they have kind of kept some of the similarities of the older model. So there are like little references here and there to things that this one has got from the old model, but definitely been built upon. So let's take a look at our old model of Lord Kroak. So you can see here we've got the kind of ivory or the horn tusks there. We've got our vines creeping up the back. It's crazy to think that this kind of model was the one that you could purchase yesterday to represent the one that we've just seen. It just kind of goes to show how far the design team have come on. You can see that kind of resin flight stand there. And for kind of like a centerpiece figure, it doesn't seem that impressive now at all. We've got a skink attendant, obviously kind of desiccated and mummified there as well. And we've got Lord Kroak there himself. The pose is definitely similar on the new model, and we can see that kind of mask, that death mask that he's wearing. So without further ado, let's flick back to the other one, just bearing those things in mind, because they've definitely got some kind of nods towards that. So we can see here we've got those kind of ivory horn tusks at the back. We've got that amazing mask now with the feathers. I really like how that's going to tie in with the the skink priests as well, with their kind of feathered headdresses as well. I think that'll look great. We've got the skink attendant there, who is now living, and we've got the vines that are kind of draping their way around the palanquin as well. The other model, the older one, definitely looks like Lord Kroak in death, because that's kind of what the lore kind of is focused around, whereas this one very much looks like Lord Kroak living, much more powerful. We can see the growth of the vines. He doesn't look kind of weakened or feeble. He definitely looks really, really powerful, and you can kind of see the arcane might of him with the levitating stonework that's circling around him. It definitely looks a more powerful character. So let's have a read. It says, ancient and mummified, but his mind and spirit make the most potent of all slan. And the magnificent model reflects Lord Kroak's standing as one of the strongest wizards in all the mortal realms. So I won't play the video because of copyright, but on the video it's being narrated by Marathi Kane, and she says, "Kroak of Lustria, the truth is clear. That which we cannot kill, we must redirect." So, taking that, I really like the introduction where she says, "Kroak of Lustria," because it's like a nod back to the old world. We said at the start of the video that Kroak was from a place called Lustria. And obviously Marathi was from the world that was, so that is probably where she remembers him from. There's a truth there that they cannot kill something, which I imagine to be Be'lakor. The Seraphon really hate chaos in any of its forms, so it seems as though Marathi Kane and the Daughters of Cain make an uneasy alliance with the Seraphon, both armies of which are order, to go against chaos. Obviously, the Seraphon have got the Great Plan, so that will be kind of their reason to ally with the Daughters of Cain, and Marathi obviously wants to keep her grip on godhood. So, this is the model that we've got to represent Lord Kroak. Apparently, he comes with an updated war scroll as well. And I just think the paint job that they've done here is absolutely brilliant. I love how you've got all the kind of gemstones, you've got gold, you've got stonework, you've got feathers, you've got skin, you've got, wraps, I just think, and greenery as well. I just think there's so many kind of textures. It's going to be an absolute dream to paint. I don't know if it will be a dream to assemble, but it will be a dream to paint, I'm sure. And it goes on to say that the events of the Broken Realms are so cataclysmic that they threaten the great plan of the Slan. Bit of a tongue twister there. And Lord Kroak is roused from his contemplation to intervene directly. Even after all this time, Kroak only seems to have grown in power, and this is represented in the games with a new war scroll, but you'll have to wait a little longer before we can tell you more on that. And we've got a few more close-up images. I love how they've kind of represented the glowing, kind of almost portal effect. We've got some gemstones as well. And there we've got the model sitting on some snakes. That kind of really reminded me of the Bastillodon, the Ark of Sotek. We've got like an almost serpent design there with a gemstone in the mouth. Again, probably a nod towards Sotek. We've got the skink attendant, like from the old model, attending to Kroak. And I just think every time I look at it, that it's absolutely jam-packed with detail. It says here there are lots of familiar design cues for fans of the classic model. We said about the ivory horns and the trailing vines on the palanquin. And there are lots of new details to take in as well. The broken rings surrounding the entire model allow it to appear to hover without a clear stand, and is reminiscent of the crowning detail of the Realm Shaper engine at the same time. So let's just take a look at that. So we've got the arc there. Yes, so this part here with all the kind of details, it is very similar. So I think when the two models are, side by side on the table, it definitely will kind of have a synergy and look very much, of the same army at least. It says here, the kit also gives us the option to leave the ornate metal headdress off, and we've got to admit he's looking pretty good for his age. So hopefully, with the updated Lord Kroak model, hopefully that this is kind of like a portent of things to come, with the Seraphon getting some updated models. Whether or not that will come for the Be'lakor book, I don't think it will. I think it will probably come a bit further down the line, with Be'lakor up for pre-order this week, which seems so soon after the Techlist book. But I will definitely be picking that up to kind of get the next part of the story, and also to learn about this magnificent model as well. I would love to get your opinions on this. What do you think of the new updated Lord Kroak? Are you a Seraphon player, or will you be maybe meeting Lord Kroak across the battlefield? So if you haven't subscribed to the channel, it would be brilliant if you could do so. And if you could drop a comment below, I'd love to talk to you about your opinion. If you've got any predictions for Book 3, Be'lakor, I would love to hear them. I'm looking forward to speaking with you all in the comments below. Thanks for joining me once again, and it will be really interesting to see what we get next for the Broken Realms narrative.